wait a minute. Why are you celebrating the great Fatalis' death?
Oh no, we just think you did a really good job selling it. The flailing, the tongue law, like it's really well acted, man. Like honestly, like kudos.
Well, I mean, I've been working on it. I'm pretty proud of it myself. Wait a minute, I'll kill you!
That moment on a hunt, you know the one. A long battle fought hard. Time's a ticking, health's a dwindling. It's just you, your blood, sweat and tears, and a monster on its last legs, and then suddenly, BAM! The camera shifts, and you're not quite sure for one heart-pounding moment if you've carted or no, it's not. Glorious day! The monster's death animation plays, the camera selling your sweet, sweet victory, the melody of success in your ears, a gentle caress. And that death animation right there, that watching the monster thrash around, give its last iota of energy to just try and not die, but it's too late, it's been bested, is something as, well, sweet as anything when it comes to Monster Hunter. So in today's totally pointless yet kind of interesting Monster Hunter list, I'm gonna give you my top 5 best monster deaths. Oh yes, and of course the honourable mention does have to go to Fatalis. It really is quite the flailing, oh no, you've got me, with the tongue just coming to a rest. He really does give it his theatric all, but didn't quite make the list. Who did? Coming in at number 5 then is Tigrex. I wanted, you know, kind of a normal death, let's say, to grace this collection of calamity, and Tigrex really does it for me because it really embodies him. He is just go, 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 never surrender, never give up, just keep going, and that's what he tries to do even in death. He falls, splayed to the ground, out of energy or so you think, but slowly, paws dug into the earth, he pushes himself up for one final no before he gives out once more and returns to the ground. It really is just a Herculean final effort as he tries his hardest to not die and keep killing you, and I think that is just wonderful. There is something seriously just Tigrex about it, and I adore that. Next up then is a more cinematic experience, because a lot of the big fights when they die, they have extra stuff going on, like Dalamader's petals. Very beautiful, but I have had to go for
Ahtal-Ka, and you won't get far. I set the golden bar, call me Megmantis, you won't surpass this.
Because, well, the actual dying is pretty standard, you know. It's just having a flail around, it's in pain, it's just doing what it does, twitching and dying. What does it for me, what I just love, is just the machine gun golden thread being thrown out repeatedly during the entire thing. Like Ahtal-Ka has no control over it. Her body's just almost deflating and sending her final reservoirs of golden goop flying into the air. I don't know why I said it so differently to everything else. But beyond that loveliness, let's say, you of course have the breaking of the dawn. As everything crumbles, her web falls apart, no longer puppeted by her expert spinster ways. The clouds part, the sun streaks down, and yeah, while it's not technically the literal monster death, this, you know, it's weather, it is part of the whole experience, and it is one hell of an experience. You really feel like you have saved the day when it comes to this one. But, of course, it is technically not just the literal dying of the mech mantis, so that's why it's down here, and bested by, well, number 3, Rajang. And, well, how could it not be? First of all, he is so over the top. Right, when you kill Rajang, he has such a, oh, how could this happen? Pawing at the air as he lets out his final bellow before curling up on the ground. But that by itself wouldn't get him here. What gets him here is the final fuck you that is so very Rajang. After a few moments of seemingly being dead, he remembers, wait a minute, I really hate these hunters. Ah! And goes for an extra slap. And slap he does. It knocks you away. It hurts. It is just a lovely little bit of personality packed into his final moments, as even in literal death, he cannot help but get the final swipe, the final hit in. Now, it does happen, I believe, in Iceborne, though it's a lot rarer in my experience, but it is something just truly wonderful. The furious ape with one final furious moment. But besting even that is my favorite main man, well, lizard, well, chameleon, well, dragon? Chameleos! Because Chameleos takes it to a whole new level when it comes to dying. You see, Chameleos refuses to accept that Chameleos is dead. And it goes, well, a little bit something like this.
Oh, okay, alright, no, this hurts, but I'm not gonna die, alright, just stand up, it's fine, just compose myself. Oh no, okay, I'm dead.
And it's just perfect! Chameleos literally tries to deny his own demise. He just tries to compose himself just a moment, stand upright, and just, I can do this, but then the tongue betrays him, and how often do tongues betray you? Honestly, answer the question, Jesus. And it flops down. It gives up before the rest of him. It lolls to the side, and in that action, Chameleos has to give up the game. He has to accept it, and he follows that tongue down to the floor. And what better way to sell the death of the ultimate licky-sticky monster than to have the tongue be the literal signifier of it, like a lever being pulled down to collapse the rest of the body. It just cannot keep up the pretense that the rest of him is attempting to do, and it really is just beautifully satisfying. It's funny, it's full of the quirky personality that Chameleos is made of, and it's one of the many, many, many reasons he is my third favorite monster of all time. But he is not the best death. No, that has to go to something you probably saw coming if you are an old world hunter, and that is...
Fire the laser!
Get ready! Nakarkos, for how could it not be? The ultimate dragon laser firer, a devourer that makes Devil Joe look like a puppy. He snipes goddamn airships out the air to consume every poor soul found within. And when it's time for him to pass, when it's time for him to give up the game, well, he does it with quite the style. And that style is one final laser beam. And this one is the best. And the reason it's the best is because this laser beam represents a lot of things. Firstly, it is actually what kills him. We've weakened him to the point where him trying to manipulate that much dragon energy fries his brain and, well, he dies. So that's pretty cool. Secondly, the laser beam, because he can't control it, because it is consuming him from within, the aim's a little bit off and it goes straight to the ceiling, which blows through the roof of this cavern, which lets the beautiful sunlight in, and it's another lovely save the day moment, but this time literally caused by the monster's death throes, and that's even better. And it just looks badass is of course the third and main point here. To see this creature you have been in horrific combat with in a bone cave as he's using the skulls of other monsters to replicate their attacks. This colourful cuttlefish squid hybrid tentacle sexy glorious beast. Finally you bring him down and he goes out with one hell of a pew. And that is so cool, and it sticks with you for a long time. So yes, that is my top 5 devs. Let me know what you'd like for the next pointless list, and until then, I'll see you soon. Like, enjoyed it, subscribe for more. Goodbye.
Rage Gaming with the video float.
But that's all that's really relevant at the mo, but I'm still gonna leave this up so you patrons know that I love you even though the outro's no longer that kind of relevant. But the new one's being worked on and it's gonna be a truly badass song, and don't worry, I won't be doing any rapping on it. I'm gonna go now. This was shit.